guest, and I just wanted to start off by saying, imagine yourself getting up, waking up in the morning, and laying in bed thinking about something that will motivate you just to get up, to get ready to face the day. I mean, just to do the basic necessities, to go and brush your teeth and, take a shower, just to get out of bed and go and face the day, and not really able to want to look in the mirror because you're so hypercritical that it might slow you down to even get ready, for the day. And having to go on hiding the way you feel and pretending like everything is just fine. And this goes on for years. It can go on for years. And there might be periods of, like 2 months periods where you'll have a feeling of, a fairly good mood. But that's kind of the picture of what it goes through the mind of somebody that has dysthymic disorder. And that's the correct pronunciation. It's a difficult word to say, but if I explain a little bit about the roots of it, it was also called dysthymia, which it goes back to ancient times. It's been documented in writings of Virgil and Sophocles, the ancient Greeks and Roman times. And what it means is, back then they thought that the thymus gland was the center, the heart of all emotions. And if somebody was depressed, they would think they had a dysfunctional thymus. And that's where they came up with dysthymia. And so it's been on, but at that point it was just a generalized problem, a generalized depression. To get more into the meaning of what it is and how it makes you feel, more specifically some of the symptoms, you have some. It affects you in 3 different ways. It affects you in your thinking, in your thoughts, negative thoughts about, well, what it does is you have some negative view of your, not only yourself, but also the world and of the future. And that's really what it comes down to. You have it's a negative outlook, and it's usually ingrained in you through your core beliefs, from growing up as a child, and it usually goes without being treated because people just feel as though they're just in a bad mood, and it can go years, without anybody doing anything about it. But it affects a lot of people, It affects, the person is affected by physical problems as far as sleeping disorders, problems with either oversleeping or not sleeping, insomnia, not sleeping enough, fatigue, eating problems, eating too much or not enough. It really affects you emotionally by being moody. You can be irritable, and a lot of these feelings are from could be sad. A lot of it could be just from guilt, and you can have nervousness. There's a lot of different things that come out, from this, and so a lot of people would just think, oh, that's just part of life. But it can affect. What it ends up doing is it affects everybody. It can affect your, relationships, between people at home, at work, your social, your friends. Because it's hard to have a good relationship when you have these kind of things in your life with mood swings and anger and guilt. And it really affects every aspect of your life. It's not just you that you're affected. And it's really hard for people to live with a person like that. And it's hard to live with yourself if you have it. But the good news is there is a because there's treatment for it, and it's simple treatment. And the thing is that if people will just go out and try this treatment and seek help, and the first place to seek help would be there's two basic treatments. You have there's medication and there's cognitive behavioral therapy, which are two things that are best used in conjunction with each other, because they what is the medication? The medication they use for this is they're called serotonin uptake or reuptake inhibitors. Serotonin is a chemical it's in your brain that with these receptors in your brain, they take the serotonin, but by taking this drug, it keeps more serotonin in your brain from being recepted by these receptors. So, and this serotonin, it helps you with making judgments and dealing with emotions, and it stabilizes your mind so that you can accept the other treatment, which is the cognitive behavioral therapy. And cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT they call it, it has, the way I look at it, it's kind of a simple way to look at it. You have change that, and I might have put it on here. Yeah, it changes your thoughts. You change your thoughts. Begin with your thoughts, and then by changing your thoughts, you're actually changing the way you feel, the way you look at how you feel, and whether or not that feeling that you're having is justified by the way you're. In other words, if something happens and the way you react to it, are you justified in how you're feeling? And then by changing your thoughts to a more positive or an alternative way to look at it, the situation, you can cope better. And I mean, it sounds real simple, but it's really, well, I mean, I think it is. I mean, I think it is, because I've tried it myself, because I've had some problems, and I saw things happening in my work, what happened was, with the home life, you can get away with it for so long. But then when it starts affecting your work, you start to realize, okay, it's not just something that I can keep hidden anymore. So, and from a personal point of view, I went and got some help. And I think that if more people would just realize that there is something that can be done for this, I think, because 3% of the population has this, and I don't know how they come up with that figure, but that was the figure I got from doing some research. And out of that, 10% of those people, because they won't do anything about it, will become clinically depressed, and they'll go into have major depression. So, I just, to really, I couldn't believe how many people were affected, and I can't believe how I went so many years without doing anything about it. But in my case, the combination of medication and using the cognitive behavior therapy, which is something that I'm constantly using, and once I master that, I can be weaned off the medication, and you can live a happy and purposeful life where you're not restrained by these feelings of these negative feelings around you. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that there is some hope, and we can, even somebody with dysthymic disorder can be gregarious, and try to use that word. Madam